This is Well To Do. I'm Andi Lew, and yes, it's the podcast that's going to help you feel abundant in health and in love and vitality. And something you may not realize about me after listening to, over 30-something episodes is that I ran a wellness practice. I owned a wellness practice in Australia. I ran it for 11 years, and we saw hundreds of people a day at some point. Now, running a wellness practice is absolutely... it's life-changing. I can't even put it into words. But our guest today, who can put it into words for us, has done it for much longer than me. And we're going to introduce her very soon. She runs a wellness day spa, if you like. In Australia, we call it wellness clinic. In America, they call them spas. And I just had to pick her brains because running a wellness place for more than a decade, we're talking about 20 years here, really is going to give you an insight as to what is going on in our wellness revolution right now. And I also just want to say thank you to Aries, who have given our guest a beautiful gift of the LifeTune Flex, which will help her to harmonize in her everyday life with the EMF radiation frequencies. Now, if you want to get one too, use my code ANDI30, ANDI 30. But let's welcome to the Well To Do podcast, Chandra from Trilogy Spa. Welcome.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Look, I'm so happy to gift you this from Aries, but I also want to say you've gifted us with your presence because we need to understand what is going on in this wellness revolution.
It's getting crazy. It's so exciting. It's a great time to be in this space.
Isn't it? I always say this is the best time to be alive. I mean, for somebody who started a wellness practice with, 20-something years ago, with a vision in mind that stemmed from your own personal story of your brother who had brain cancer. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
It's true. That's what happened.
And then you were like, there's got to be another way to heal. And then you found all of these healing modalities and you've been bringing it to the public for a couple of decades. So tell me about that story because you must have seen the change.
Oh, it's been a huge change. I mean, I think for me, I actually backed into the industry. I worked in corporate. I had a great job that was exciting. I was lobbying and I was fighting and I was doing battling every day. And you'd win a battle and you get the thrill and then you have another client and then they need something. And you kind of get on this hamster wheel of you're really only as good as your last win and it doesn't end. And when my brother got sick, he had a glioblastoma multiforme, which even to this day, if you get 5 years of survival, you're considered a success.
Right.
So after he passed, I just didn't know what I wanted to do anymore. And a company I'd worked with had gone public and I ended up backing into the spa industry by mistake. A friend took me after I moved back from Hawaii, my friends took me, we got massages at a place that's still in business.
Wow.
We arrived late. They cut it down to, by 20 minutes. I didn't understand why. And I said, I'm going to do this in my own hometown and not do this to people. And, little do you know when you say stupid things like that there's a reason, there's business. You have to follow along. There's a plan. So I ended up doing it. I thought I would do it for 1 year. And, it's life-changing when 99.99% of the time people leave feeling better than when they walk in. And you get to make a difference in people's lives. But yes, the industry was way different back then. Massage wasn't what it was known today as a norm. There still had not always the most positive stigma with it. It was very much about fluffy beauty. It was just changing. It was a lot more about European influences in beauty. And now it's definitely about between the internet, the knowledge people have, and wellness and integrating between time management and wanting something that's healthy for you and a better alternative. And there's so many different options now.
Yeah, and I love to talk about allopathy versus wellness care.
Definitely.
Because they always say it's an alternative, but what's it an alternative to, right? We need both, but we just have to understand that we need this for that time of your life and then perhaps the other for another time of your life. But I like to call it complementary medicine, if you like. But what you touched on was huge, is that people are realizing that wellness is being used for beauty, because when you're well from the inside, that reflects on the outside, right?
It has to be inside out. And I think that's a big thing that people are realizing early on. I think even if you look at kids would have normal breakouts. Doctors used to just put them on Accutane.
Normal.
Yeah, exactly. Normal. And now they know they can do probiotics, they can do different things, they can do inside out to help cure it a little bit better without immediately going to a pill. And I think that that's what's really changing, is trying to treat the symptoms effectively rather than clear it with a pill.
So we are going to unpack all of the different modalities. We're going to talk about massage, lymphatic drainage. We're going to talk about, obviously there's cosmetology within Trilogy Spa.
Yes.
However, what's happening is you're seeing a huge shift in people's looks and appearances when they're addressing, as you say, the health from the inside out. So this is major, and the best thing that ever happened out of 2020, I think, is, as you say, how educated the people are now. That is just amazing that people are coming to you now already knowing a little bit. So what was it like when you first opened up Trilogy to like now the educated folk that are coming through the door on a daily basis?
I think 95% of the time the education is great. 5% of the time it's not always the best because there's a lot of bad information out there and there's a lot of confusion. I think that as long as people are open and they realize that there's not one solve for every single person's skin, every single person's body, and not even for the same person's skin or body on the same day. So your body's changing and you have to listen to your body and you have to fix what's needed at that moment.
Wow.
And sometimes you have to address like a precursor to be able to fix what you really want to fix. So 100%. Some people want to go in and do texture and they want to have peels. Well, sometimes you have to address the hyperpigmentation so you can get the skin strong enough so you can then do the peel to address the texture. So there's sometimes steps that people don't always know, and we're a world of kind of instant gratification. So it's the educating and kind of working hand in hand with clients, whether it's body massage, lymphatic drainage, working on their fascia, or skincare.
See, this is amazing because obviously you would know, otherwise the patients or the clients wouldn't keep coming back, right? So, but you know, to stay in business for that long is just incredible, 20 years and more. And obviously thriving now, you've moved the practice and the spa, if you like, is in the heart of Manhattan Beach with the sea breeze coming through. I just want to talk about how everything's really open plan, super modern, but it feels like, you know, the design is, you know, things that are raw, like stone and plants and real plants, you know. And
real plants.
Yeah.
We fight with those real plants a lot. We actually have a plumeria tree that's supposed to be outside. And we had an amazing designer, a close friend of mine, Gula Jansdieter. And she's from Iceland. And everything she does around the world is based on nature. So fire, water. For us, it's sand. So the spa itself, it's color and the tones.
Right. I see that now that you say that.
Yeah.
It really does make you feel like you're very relaxed and surrounded by nature, with the location of the sea breeze coming through all the time. It is so important before you go into that closed door treatment and so forth. But, you know, let's just talk about your analogies around, you know, taking the steps. This is really crucial to talk about because when you go to build a house, you have to get the foundations right?
Yes.
We could also use the same analogy of, you know, just going straight in with something because you want that quick fix.
Yes.
But have you really addressed that root cause is what we always talk about. So, you know, sometimes when I'm doing my wellness coaching, I talk about chelation. So you've got to remove before you add.
Yes.
This is no different in sort of your spa and what you're talking about when it comes to addressing skin issues. So some of the things that are actually helping with skin is the big L word, the lymphatic system, lymphatic drainage. I've recently experienced that firsthand, and I want to talk to you about how crucial it is because with the lymphatic massage therapy that you have, you really can see a difference in energy levels, flushing toxins out. But, and as you say, massage has moved from how it used to be to what it's doing now. So let's talk about some of the lymphatic drainage modalities that you have.
So we do lymphatic on both the face and we do the body. We do it for both. Lymphatic is a little bit, a true lymphatic drainage massage, people get a little confused by this because they have Brazilian lymphatic body contouring.
Right.
True lymphatic drainage is a very encouraging massage that encourages your system to flush naturally. So it's a softer touch. It's tapping your lymphatic points to encourage that flow to start. Brazilian lymphatic contouring is more, it starts with that, but it's a much more aggressive, targeted motion that flushes the area. So there's a lot of confusion where people will come in and they'll want the 1 hour, 40 minutes. I'm walking out, I can see a difference. I'm more contoured. My jeans go on a little bit tighter. Obviously in 40 minutes, it's one body part. It's not the whole body part, but there's a big difference of the importance of lymphatic. For us, we are firm believers in the importance of, you know, fascia and lymphatic system go hand in hand. The fascia is the underwoven webbing that goes from your top of your brain down to your toes, and it interconnects your body. if your fascia is bound and tight,
Wow.
it locks up and you don't have free flow. So your lymph system has to be flowing, if you think of like a river, and your fascia has to be flowing to let the river go through it. For people who don't know what fascia is, it's if you open a piece of chicken and you see that white film right underneath the skin.
Wow.
That's the fascia that our body has underneath
Hashtag
it.
sorry, vegans.
Yeah, sorry, vegans. Sorry, vegans. Sorry.
No, but you know, that's a great way to
It's
describe
not everybody knows what it is. They're like, fascia,
Yeah.
I hear fascia, I hear lymph.
Yeah.
How does it work together? They're not separate. They work hand in hand. And you have to have both optimized or you're not going to get anywhere. So people, for instance, with cellulite is both a lymphatic problem with flow, your actual lymphatic flow and everything's all stuck inside there with fluid retention, but it's also fascia because when your fascia is bound up, it locks up. If you can picture like a chain link fence and then everything's pushing through it. That's why you can even have the skinniest people sometimes who have cellulite. Because the cellulite is actually a lymphatic combo with fascia that's bound up.
Wow, this is major. All the ladies are going to be sharing
Like
this.
So the trick is really just get some flow inside there, break it up, and you can tell. There's tons of different fascia tools out there. We love the Fascia Blaster, which is by Ashley Black. She was kind of her own revolution. It started probably a decade ago, but there's so many great tools out there. But what you want to do is you can tell if your fascia is bound up. Get a drumstick, get a rolling pin. You can rub it on an area of your body, and you'll feel no pain or anything. And if you can go to an area where you have cellulite, the second, whether it's the back of people's arms or the back of their legs, the second you rub it there, you can feel pain at a very light touch. So that's where it is. Even when people come in and have their lymphatic massage, some areas have no pain whatsoever and some are extremely painful. And you want that. The pain is just breaking up and getting fresh blood flow in there.
Yeah. We want to increase the blood flow.
Yes.
And then the drainage happens as a result of the movement because...
Drink a lot of water.
Oh, yes. So there are other things that we can do to help the lymphatic drainage or the lymphatic system, which is so important. I mean, think about if you kept the dysfunction or dis-ease within that body that's stuck or blocked, as you say, for so long, it becomes disease. Dis-ease becomes disease, like the lymphoma, dare I say, and all of that, right? So that's the lymphatic system not working as well as it should or could. We can prevent things like that. Full disclaimer, this isn't medical advice.
Not medical.
No, but what can happen is if you're constantly adding to your wellness cup and making sure that, your body's functioning at its best, then hopefully that's the wellness philosophy, is that you're allowing the body to self-heal, self-function and regulate the way it was designed to, which is to optimally heal all the time on its own when we give it the right environment. But one of the most amazing machines you have in there that I've been experiencing that's coupled with the red light is the beads. What's that machine called?
The
wooden beads.
Oh, the wooden beads.
Yeah.
So what we have is that, believe it or not, that technology is decades old, developed in Poland in clinical settings for people that had mobility issues, for DVTs, blood clots, for circulation issues.
So it's like a big machine that you can sit on.
It's an infrared lymphatic body roller that has a collagen function on it.
So think of a massive,
big machine, almost like a horse. You're almost sitting on a horse in different positions.
Of wooden beads that are rolling around with red light filtering through, and you can either sit on it, put your legs on it, and the machine tells you which positions to sit down.
You can go from 10 different positions head to toe to 17, and it's incredible. I mean, it is a lymphatic body roller, and that's and it's like I said, we got that, came overseas from Poland. There's not that many here. They're becoming a little bit more popular,
right?
And it's great for people. I mean, the circulation it gives for all ages. It's safe. You can get a workout on it. We have a lot of Olympians that come to the spa.
So from athletes to the elderly.
My father has he has neck issues. He's older. He gets on it. He loves it. And you can do, because what you're doing is you're getting on it. You're using your core to balance on it. Yes, there's straps you can hold on to. You can keep your feet on the ground, but you can actually lift your feet. You can use balance. So you can get a 3-in-1 workout with the lymphatic drainage
treatment. That's so true. You are actually having to use your
core.
Oh,
yes.
But I also sat down on the floor and put my feet on there, which was fantastic.
Have to.
All those reflexology points.
Hands, your feet. We have people that roll. They'll get their side of their face in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great machine. And you'll find some people get on there and they get itchy right away. They sit down after 2 or 3 minutes. So that's new blood flow and new oxygen getting to those areas, getting in those tissues. And that's just your brain releasing histamines. That's a really great sign that you have new circulation. Your brain's having a reaction. Your body's like, whoa, what's going on? So it is a histamine reaction, but it's great. It means that it's working. So it just goes away in a minute or two.
Very important also for any of my listeners or viewers of the show, because there's a lot of breast implant illness thrivers or sufferers.
Definitely.
And they end up having BIIs, essentially MCAS, mast cell activation syndrome. So that's, you've got to avoid all of the histamine foods, and anything that's high in histamines is going to cause that reaction, the MCAS immune response. So this is really important. In fact, I think you found me because of my work with Treasured Chest and the explant revolution that I've created, or the movement,
you have created,
if you like.
Yes.
And you were like, this girl needs some lymphatic drainage. Do you remember you telling me this?
Yes, you did. You told me all about your history. I'm like, you have to get on the body roller. It's been life-changing for some of our clients.
It has been
of all ages. It's exciting to see. And it's something that's so simple. People can go in. It can be as quick as 30 minutes. It can be up to an hour, and it's self-guided.
Yeah.
You don't have to, some people don't want to be sitting in a room with someone else. Not everybody wants to. Some people come in because they don't have enough human contact. Some people don't want that human contact. So it gives something for everyone.
That's important to note, because those who are just listening and can't see it, you're in a room.
I wish I had a picture of it.
Yeah, we can do B-roll maybe. So what's happening is, though, it's coupled with the red light. And I wanted to talk to you about red light versus infrared.
Yes.
Let's talk about that for detoxification and purification.
So infrared versus red light, that's a big difference. Red light was created back by NASA. A lot of our technologies come from different countries, Russia, the US, but NASA back in the space age and the Cold War and everybody racing, and how do we keep our astronauts healthy longer? How do we keep our athletes longer for different countries racing? So red light was created by NASA. And the first time I was introduced to red light crazy was when my brother actually had brain cancer. Is they wanted him to. Our family did a lot of different modalities. We were East meets West, so they did everything from rebounding on a trampoline because it boosts your killer T cells to actually getting underneath the red light. So red light activates at a cellular level, and it's great for everyone. So I think we talked a little bit about organic versus non-organic products as your skin ages. I don't remember that conversation we were having, but as your skin ages, we all want organic. We all want as clean as possible, but sometimes pure organic can only go so far. Clean always is good. Red light is something that anyone can do at any age. There's no contraindications. Obviously, not if you're pregnant. You don't want to be doing anything, if you're pregnant, especially in the U.S. I think other countries might argue with that, but in the U.S., we don't do things like that when people are expecting.
Because you do have that chair where you can sit alone, the chair vibrates, it kind of pulls you in a seated back position, and then it talks you through a guided meditation with music and vibration that matches the music, and the red light's on you, and I'm like, where am I?
We are I'm a multitasking person. I think that time is very valuable. So we combo our red light with biohacking. So that's also a technology. It's a vibroacoustical technology that was developed by NASA for PTSD soldiers.
Really?
Yeah. So it was made for PTSD soldiers, and it takes them on a journey and just it taps into the vagus nerve.
That's amazing.
So we do it, and we crank you into an anti-gravity position in the recliner.
Now
the recliner is synced into the whole vibroacoustical journey, and then on top of it, we add the red light to it.
Now that you've explained it like that, because I didn't get the full picture.
No, we didn't do a good job.
This is what's going on for me.
Yes.
So I haven't really shared this before, but there was a time where I was diagnosed with PTSD, and I don't like labels.
Yes,
I really don't. But it was
a moment in time.
It gave me the grace to go, you know what, I'm looking after myself.
Yes.
And I really worked on it, and I got to the point, where here I am. But there was a time, I was in fetal position for I think a year. Anyway, we won't go there, but
I'm glad you're out of it on the other side.
Yeah,
look, and now you're helping everybody else.
I was just about to say thank you, but it just comes through, and I never stop helping everybody else. This is what was the beauty about, your spa, is that you really do walk in feeling like, we're being held. You know what I mean?
I hope
from the staff at the front desk, that so gentle in their voices and in their education and the music and everything, and then guided to. But the room, I did 4 things in one day. You're right. I didn't know it really did help with the traumatic stress disorder, because it does come back every now and again, not to the degree ever, but that's really So important.
In 20 minutes. It's so quick.
Okay, that's the whole thing, in 20 minutes. Because the way in which the chair goes back, you feel like you are in space floating,
Yes.
like literally floating, right? Because your feet are still up a little
Feet are
bit.
up, your back.
It's like you're
we
being...
blindfold you and we try to really push it with the senses.
So the best way I can describe it, it feels like there's a big strong man holding me under the legs and just carrying me through the water or something like that. You know, it's such an amazing machine. You use the light for the sauna as well, so that's there. So I did like 4 things in one day. I did the massage, I did the roller beads, I did this bed we're talking about, which is amazing for PTSD, as you say. But then I also did the sauna,
the infrared sauna.
So that sort of combo was the most unbelievable day.
It's a big detox day. I mean, it's definitely something where people have to make sure they're drinking water. Make sure you do some pre and some post. And the pre and post is simple. It's water and it's good sleep. Those 2 things, then you have an optimized day. And we love to finish people in the red light chair because people don't realize if you're going to go in, please everyone, if you go in and you spend money on a spa service, whether it's body or face, if you don't take 20 minutes when that service is done to allow your body to really absorb and heal and continue the healings, you're not getting the full benefits. You have to give your body 20 minutes. And that means 20 minutes of no phone, no TV, music is great, just something to let your mind calm down. Then you get the full benefits. Look, if you get the massage, you're still gonna have benefits when you walk out the door, but you're leaving something on the table every single time. So we try to get people to relax after. We try to say, no phones, but people's lives, I mean, life happens. Sometimes they don't have, something is always better than nothing.
Look, I must say the massage therapists, the staff are so well trained, hired, cast, if you like, because, you know, you've got people that have been with you for over a decade. We
have some over 20 years. It's crazy.
It's amazing. Now, you know, you can go to some massage therapists and they're not really trained. They don't understand the body, right? So they don't understand anatomy, but these people do. So it's the difference. But I also want to share that I had no idea you had a whole other side with cosmetology and, you know, the types of facials and things like that. So there's all of that there. But I really need to just deep dive in this peptide world.
Oh, yes.
As
the
well.
future.
Now,
it's the past. For me, it's been the past for 4 years, but it's definitely, I think it's the future. Even though I know the FDA is getting involved and, you know, things are changing with it, I think it really is the future of where everything's going.
And again, you're not a doctor. This is
not a doctor.
Advice,
not a doctor, not medical
advice.
But,
you know, you're seeing this now, as you're saying, in the future. You're going to be introducing this into the clinic as well, or the spa, if you like. And in Australia, you know, it's illegal. So this is amazing that America is, you know, on the forefront of where health's at, really.
So what I think a lot of people don't know is peptides have been around since the 1900s. And, you know, it's changed of what the peptide journey was. It was Russians were involved in peptides again with athletic performance back, I think, in the 70s or 80s. In the 60s, insulin was one of the first peptides that came out. So peptides have been around. They've just gone under different names.
For those who don't know, also, let's just talk about, break it right down. It's branch chain amino acids.
Yes, yeah. And they set off different reactions in our body. And to date, I think there's 7,000 identified peptides. Most notably recently a GLP, whether it's a GLP 1, 2, 3. I think that's what's really pushed the peptides to the front all of a sudden.
But there's been very bad, I guess, publicity about that because the weight loss peptide, which is known as tirzepatide or semaglutide. The Ozempic is the one that's got all the lawsuits against it.
Yes.
But if we forget about that and we put that to the side.
For a weight loss side of it,
right.
It's for actual treating diabetes and what they were intended for, they've been used for decades.
But if we put all that aside, as you say, there are so many more.
So many more.
That can heal tissue or...
We won't do anything with the GLPs. You know, what we focus on are the ones that, you know, the PT141, which is combined with, they call it the love peptide. And that's for male and female. It's libido, it's mood enhancement. It's something that we produce naturally in our body, and it promotes that a little bit more. So
much better than the blue pill, right?
It's an alternative to the blue pill. So the blue pill works on blood vessels. So let me say this about the peptide, which is important, is the peptide, like the PT141 or the love peptide or the combo of them, they work on the actual brain connection. So it's a mind connection. So it's better for younger people. So you were talking about people not having a physical blood vessel dilation type of need, which then they would have to go to the blue pill. Or there's other alternatives now. They're actually doing injections and different things to try to that are more natural than actually the blue pill.
And not all peptides are an injectable ones. You can get like BPC 157, which is great for healing tissue and repair.
BPC 157 is amazing. Ligaments, repair, gut health. It's BPC 157. People don't realize it's one of the only oral peptides that truly is oral because it comes from your stomach. It's made in your gut. So it's not broken down by your stomach's acids. So it's a great peptide. And now they're doing intranasal. There's all sorts of peptides. Like the peptide therapy is definitely shifting. The more and more it's getting, I think that the FDA, it's not banned in the USA, but what they are doing is they're telling compounding pharmacies that are regulated by the FDA that they can no longer compound with certain peptides. I think there's a list of them, BPC 157 included on there. Doesn't mean that they're not available. And some, I think the most important thing for your viewers to know is that there are good peptides, there's bad peptides, and sometimes it's hard to tell the difference of where you're getting them. So what you need to know is what's the origin? Where are these peptides being sourced from? 99% pure doesn't mean that's a good thing. Gray peptides for research only, not safe on animals. If it's not a lab that's being regulated by the FDA, not necessarily for peptides, but a regulated lab, I wouldn't go there. Our doctor has been doing peptides for years. She's East meets West. She was a double breast cancer survivor. So she has all different modalities that she mixes together.
Interesting.
And she's a leader, like a pioneer. She has books on stem cells, and she does a lot of male health specifically, which is why we know that. We kind of follow she's our leader. But there's not all peptides are created equal. So really look at the origin of where you get your peptides from. And if you had a reliable source that now all of a sudden is FDA lab, again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not saying what to do or not do, but it doesn't mean also that they're bad now if they have to put that new labeling that the FDA has asked for because of, I'm sure, I don't know if I can say it, but probably because of money and everything else, because these really are changing the dynamics of what's happening. But there's I know great orthopedic surgeons leading the way. They're all using BPC 157 and they're orthopedic surgeons. So they're not fighting it. They're like, these things are making it great. Like they don't have to cut the way they used to.
Right.
So it's great to see. It's a new frontier out there. It's exciting. And like I said, cutting isn't the first answer anymore. A pill isn't always the first answer.
And before we wrap up, let's just talk about aesthetics just a little bit, because some of the facials that you can do, you can really see changes in plumpness of the skin from things like hydrofacials. And, so if people want to do actual natural things, what was the other thing that you would recommend?
We're really big right now on glass skin and Korean skincare. I think it's great. It's not as US friendly as it used to be because it's step after step. It's a lot more steps than the US. Here we kind of want one or two things and one or two steps. Their normal twice a day ritual is 7 to 8 steps. So we do a lot of it. We're in the middle of a glass skin challenge, a 30-day glass skin challenge right now. And when we were talking about prepping the skin, the first week is detoxing the skin. We're just finishing up the first week. The second week is all about hydrating and plumping. And then the third week will actually be about, really treating it in glass skin. But our users that are in there are like, why can't I use this now? It's like, no, you have to detox and prep the skin. So I think that for us, we're really focusing kind of on glass skin and that dewy look. And, we've got it down to 4 steps instead of 7. And our clients are loving it when they leave. And we do a combo of a fill and freeze. So it's a topical neurotoxin that's built with a topical, the equivalent of Sculptra filler, but they're both by a Korean medical skincare company. They sell to countries all around the world. They've been doing it for over a decade. It's safe. It's, Korean skincare is different. It's not about, it's all about balancing the skin and strengthening the skin barrier as opposed to stripping and exfoliating. It's just a little bit, there's nothing wrong with either approach. We do both. But we're a little bit heavier on the glass skin right now.
Interesting. I've never heard of glass skin. So
you have to come in and try it. Yes. To come in, we'll do your face.
Well, it has to be organic for me though. That's the only thing.
So on the Korean skincare, it's all natural, and I think all but 2. So we wouldn't use one. There's one product that has the first volumizing peel with 4 AHAs, but it has salicylic and a couple things. So we would skip that for you.
Yeah. How good is that? I mean, you have thought of everything. This is the whole thing.
Oh, I don't know.
Trilogy is on the forefront, as you say.
I mean, I think as an owner, you know this when you had your wellness spa, I think that you can open it, you can get people to come in, you can bring them in, but if you don't have the right team, they're not coming back. 100%. So we've been around 20 years, or I guess longer now. So scary, because of our team. We've got a great team.
And you're
so
the
lucky.
Tell us where we can find you. It's in Manhattan
We're
Beach.
in downtown Manhattan Beach on 12th Street, 321 12th Street. Our Instagram is Trilogy Spa. We do giveaways every month, and we love to answer questions. We're going to do a 12 days of the holiday challenge because people weren't able to get in on the glass skin challenge we're doing now. So we're going to break it down to a 12-day mini version. So we'll start that December 1st.
Go and follow Manhattan Beach's Trilogy Spa because you're going to get some cool giveaways, some education, and just have some whole lot of fun learning, really, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, so share this with everyone you know that wants to have wellness for beauty.